everybody, welcome. Welcome. So basically, in this wonderful reading that I'm going to be providing you is that this is going to be a wonderful individual reading for a Scorpio. This is going to be for a Scorpio reading for February 26th to February to March 7th of 2026. So you know what's going on for you, Scorpio. I know what you're going through in that way, but you need to understand that. You need to have your own gut feelings to understand what you're going through. The way this is, you have to know about it. You have to put that into perspective. You have to put things into that way of know what to do. And that's how it goes. So you have to see it in that way because that's the way it is in that way. So you have to go with the flow, and you have to know your own standards, and you have to know what you can do in that way because this is how it goes, right? So you have to see it in that way because it's in that way. So this is how it goes. But Scorpio, you need to pay attention on what you're doing in that way, right? It's just like how past tense it is, but the way how this is how it goes. So you're going to look at the cards eventually, but you have the Ten Cups already, you have completion, Nine Cups already, there's romance here, Four Wands over there's celebration, and Ace of Pentacles where you want prosperity about money. That's how it goes. Because this is how it goes. So you might be doing this in our Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, you might do this in our Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, you might do this in our Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. That's how it goes in that way. Because you have to understand it. You have to believe it. You have to have that way of knowing to do. That's how it goes. So you can see it in that way because that's how it goes. Okay? So let's see. So the way this is, you have to understand what you're going through in that way because you have to believe it. So you picture it because that's how it goes, right? So you have to see it when it's fulfilling, and you have to know about all the rules, and you have to understand what you're going through in that way because that's how it goes in that way. So you have to do exactly what you're told to do because that's how it goes. So everything has to be all good, but this is how it is, right? This is how it is in that way because you have to see it in that way, and you have to have your own pressure point, and you have to understand what you're going through in that way because that's how it goes. So you have to see it in that perspective of how it goes, right? You have to see it in that way. So everything has to be all functioned because that's how it goes in that way, right? So you have to go with the flow. And when you do it, it's like, okay, well, it seems to be happening all at once because this is how it goes in that way, right? So this is how it is, but you have to believe it in order to do what you can in that way because that's how it goes in that way, right? So that's how it seems to be. So you have to believe it in order to do that because that's how it goes in that way because this is how it is in that way. So just give me 1 second here. So anyway, that my own way about how this is, because this is how it's going to be in that way, because this is how it goes in that way. So you have to satisfy on how you're feeling in that way, because that's how it goes in that way, right? So you have to see it in a wonderful feeling because that's how it goes, and you think, okay, well, everything's going to be all great, but this is how it is. You have to believe it. You have to understand that. So Scorpio, you have to pay attention to what you're doing in that way, whether you focus on your dignity and your self-respect with how it goes. So let me clarify the 10 cups, the 9 cups. Queen of Swords here, so you want to show your independence. For one sword, there's celebration. Page of Swords here, so you already have you don't have no education because you already know it. The Page of Pentacles here says no prospects. Queen of Cups, there's empathy. Yeah, because there's two sides of the story here. One makes sense, one doesn't make sense. But you decide, right? So you have to understand whether you like it or not, right? That's how you're going to do it because that's how it goes. So let me clarify between the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. Just so you're not telling the truth. Seven of Pentacles is reversed. You already have a career. Two of Cups reversed. There's no relationships or friendships. The Six of Swords reversed. There's no movement. High Priestess reversed. There's no divorce. Nine of Swords reversed. There's no trauma. Six of Cups reversed. There's no the past. The Ten of Cups reversed. There's incompletion, and two Wands where there's planning. Yeah, because you have to plan on something. So I know that things are not happening all at once, but you have to have it, right? You have to hear me out. And when you do it, that's how it goes in that way, because you have to understand that, right? Everything has to be all good. But it's just like how it is. This is not should shape. but the way this is, it is, right? That's how it goes. What's this Queen of Cups here? Chariot yours, there's no progress. Followed with the Five of Cups, over there's grief. And King of Pentacles, or you want prosperity, build money. That's how it goes. So you can see it as one for direction, but the way this is, you have to understand that. You have to occur and you have to obey, because that's how it goes. So you have to see it as one fulfilling. You know how it goes, but that's how it seems to be. Okay, you get to the point, Scorpio. You have to get to the point. What's this Two Wands here? Two Pentacles for yours, you basically not balanced. You're out of balance. Six Pentacles here, there's no kindness. Star yours, there's no inspiration. Nine Cups here, there's fulfillment. Yeah, because you want to be fulfilled. You want things to happen all at once. I don't know why you're being unkind, Scorpio, but the way of this is, you need to, do what you can. You have to put the pedal to the metal, right? That's how it goes. And when you do it, you have to act like it. You have to say, this is how it goes. I need to do it. I need to understand it. That's how it goes. So I can see it, the way how it is. So I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify the way how this is right now. Yes, that's how it goes. So I'm going to clarify this King of Pentacles here. King of Cups is over there, support. Okay, what's this for a Wand spell? Tarot yours is no transformation. What's this Nine of Cups spell? Eight Swords yours, there's no anxiety. So I know what's happening in that way, because that's how it goes in that way. So I understand that, right? So you have to see it in the way how it goes, because this is how it is. So let me clarify this King of Cups here. The Empress here is there's no nourishment. What this Tower is? Fool is over, there's change. What's this Ace of Swords? Star is over, there's inspiration. Yeah, that's how it goes. So I can see it in that way because you think that everything's gonna be fine, but that's how it goes. Let me clarify this Empress card. Justice over, you're telling the truth. Wheel of Fortune over, you want good luck. Star is over, there's inspiration. Yeah, because you might be dealing with another air sign as another Libra as an air sign, but that's how it goes in that way. So you have to see it in one full direction because that's how it goes. What's this Fool card about? High Priestess over, you want to use her voice. Emperor yours, there's no structure. The Magician is up right, you want skill. That's how it goes because you have to see it in one fulfilling. You have to know what it is because that's how it goes from your own ways of knowing what to do, and that's how it goes. What's the Star here? Lover is over, you want to make decisions. The reverse is all obsessions, addictions. Chariot is over, you want progress. Yeah, because that's how it goes. You want to make progress because that's what you want. That's what you get. That's what you provide. Because when things are happening all at once, that's how it goes. Right? So that's how it seems to be. I'm going to clarify the Star card. Tarot yours, there's no transformation. The reverse, there's no obsessive addictions. Her is over, you are in solitude. Maybe you're looking for a soulmate. Maybe you know what you're going through, Scorpio, but that's how it goes. You have to see it in the wonderful feeling because this is how it goes. You need to understand that, right? So when things are happening all at once, you have to understand that, right? You have to declare what you're feeling in that way. What's this Magician here? Hey man, is that right? You want restrictions? Story is over, there's inspiration. Terrence is over, you're healing. That's how it goes. You're healing because of what's happening in that way. Whether you have restrictions, maybe you have inspiration, but things are happening all at once. So you understand what you're going through because that's how it goes. So you have to see it in that way, whether you understand what you're going through in that way, whether, okay, everything's going to be fine. But this is how it goes. It's not peachy, this is not the nitty gritty, it's not the way it works. But what this is, you have to understand that, okay? What's this Chariot? Lover story, you want to make decisions. Fool is over, there's change. Strength is over, there's bravery. Yeah, because you want to be brave, right? So you want to be brave enough because that's how it goes in that way. So, that's how it goes. So let me clarify this Hermit card. Queen of Cups over, there's empathy. There's two sides of the story here. King of Swords over, there's knowledge here. Ace of Swords here, there's a misunderstanding. Yes, it is. So when you have a misunderstanding, things are not going as planned. So you might be doing with another Pisces against Scorpio, you might do with another Gemini Aquarius. That's how it goes. So you have to understand whether you have to have your own basic needs, whether you want it or not. But that's how it goes, Scorpio. You have to pay attention to it. So when you believe that everything's going to be fine, that's how it goes. You have to understand what you're going through in that way. What's this Temperance card about? Chariot separate, there's progress, followed by the Empress here, there's no nourishment. Nine Wands over, there's fear. And Magician right, you want skill. That's how it goes. So when you think that you have progress, that's fine. But when you have fear, that's not good. But then you have the Magician because you want skill. You want things to happen all at once. Because, like I say, Scorpio, you need to pay attention to what you're going through in that way. Where you think, okay, everything's going to be fine. But this is how it goes. You have to believe it, right? So when you have misunderstanding, when you have grief, when you have, fear, whatever it is, you understand what it's going through, right? You understand what you're going through in that way because it will take time, right? What's the Strength card about? 3 Wands here, there's communication. 10 of Wands here, there's no burdens here. Be fortunate that you want to have good luck here. 8 Swords here says there's no anxiety. 2 Cups here, there's relationships and friendships. That's how it goes. So you see it as a wonderful feeling, but you know what it is. You want communication. You want to communicate. You want things to happen all at once. That's how it goes. But you have to believe in that way. You have to know what it is in that way. You have to believe what you're going through because that's how it goes. So you have to see it in a different perspective because that's what it is, right? So you have to see it in that way because that's how it goes, right? So you have to go with the flow, right? What's this Ace of Swords about? Because here there's no healing. Since there's no deceit. 9 Wands where there's immaturity. Yeah, because the way how this is, whether you're acting to be immature or not, that's how it goes. So you can see it as when you're feeling. You think, well, I have to do what I can, but that's how it goes, right? So you can see it as a wonderful feeling. You know what it is. But when things are happening all at once, that's how it goes. So you have to believe it. You have to understand that because that's how it goes, right? So you have to understand that. So what's the middle of this situation for Scorpio? 10 of Swords here, there's no conclusions. No, there's no conclusions right now because that's how it goes. So you can see it as we're feeling. You know what it is. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. But Scorpio, you need to go and do what you can in that way. Right? That's how it goes. So you have to feel it in your own ways. And you have to get what you want because that's how it goes. If you want relationships happening, if you want things to be going through, that's how it goes. But you have to understand that. You have to believe. You have to understand what you're going through in that way. Okay? So let's see what this universe is saying. We go from the middle to the right, middle to left. Territory, there's transformation. 2 of Swords is separate. You don't know which path you're going to take. 2 Cups here, there's relationships. Just 3, you're telling the truth. Yeah, exactly. 9 Pentacles here, there's no trust. 6 Cups here, there's the past. Yeah, because you're drawn to the past. That's how it goes. So when things are happening all at once, you know how it goes in that way because you have to do that. If you have no trust, I understand that. But the way this is, you have to believe what you're going through. Because you know what, Scorpio, you need to pay attention. Okay? What's between the middle and the left side, please? 10 Cups here says there's incompletion. 10 Swords, there's healing. 9 Wands here, there's immaturity. 8 Cups here is upright, there's satisfaction. 3 Pentacles reverse, there's no excitement. 9 Swords here, there's trauma. 3 Wands here, there's no communication. Exactly. Destiny here, there's no action. 2 Wands here, there's planning on something. That's how it goes. Yeah, you're going to plan about communicate in that way, but when you close out that communication, I know what you're going through. It's not good, right? That's how it goes. What's the 6 Cups about? 10 Pentacles, sorry, you want wealth. Page of Cups here, there's no loyalty. 5 Wands here, there's no chaos. 8 Wands here, there's no beginnings. Yeah, that's how it goes. So I can see it in that way because you focus on your own wealth. You're focused about having money. You have your own financial feelings. That's how it goes because you have to see it in that way. What's the 2 Wands about? Empress, sorry, there's nourishment. The Emperor, there's no structure. 4 Wands, sorry, there's celebration. Yeah, because you want to celebrate. Yeah, you want things to happen in that way. What's this Ace of Wands about? 3 Swords, sorry, there's heartbreak. Five of Swords, sorry, there's revenge. Yeah, because there's conflict here. Those, sorry, you're making decisions. Yeah, that's what you want. So you understand what you're going through in that way, but you have to understand that, right? That's how it goes. What's the celebration about? Wheel of Fortune, right? You want to have good luck. Came in, is that right? There's restrictions. Yeah, because you're being restricted. Yeah, that's how it goes. What's this decisions about? Page of Pentacles, sorry, there's prospects. Six of Swords, sorry, there's movement. King of Pentacles, sorry, is that right? There's stability. That's what you want, right? You want security. I mean, that's how it goes. So you want things to happen all at once. So what's the middle of this situation? Ten of Wands, there's no burdens. Eight of Swords, there's no anxiety. Strength of yours, you're being scared. Ten of Pentacles, sorry, you're focusing on your career. Five of Pentacles, there's no insecurity. Eight of Pentacles, there's no perfection. Nine of Cups, there's fulfillment. High Priestess, you're using your inner voice. Yeah, you know what, Scorpio? You need to use your inner voice. Because in that way, you have to understand that, right? That's how it goes. So you have to move along, right? So when things be happening all at once, you have to know exactly what you're going through in that way, right? So I understand what you're going through, Scorpio. I know what you're going through. But the way this is, you have to understand that. You have to, do what you can. You're not trying to, backtrack of how everything is. No. But the way this is, you have to pay attention, right? You have to go with the flow, right? So that's how it's going to be. But you have to know exactly how it is in that way because you focus on that. You focus about the here and now, this monetary perspective, right? But the way this is, you have to pay attention. It's like this is how it goes. So when you have things to be happening all at once and you have to know what's right, what's wrong, that's how it goes, right? You're trying to understand that, but that's how it's going to be. So I hope that you believe in this situation. I hope you understand this monetary reading because it makes sense. So this is how it goes. But I hope you all like this video. Try to understand it. Try to believe it. Try to understand because this is how it goes. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I'll see you next time when I do. But that's how it goes in that way. So thank you so much, and have a nice day. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye for now. Really, thank you, and thanks. And bye.